From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, detectives with the Fairbanks Police Department have made a positive identification on the suspect from a hit and run that happened on Monday evening. That's right, 19-year-old Fairbanks man Rashid Akbar, also known as Rashid Glasgow, was identified as the driver. According to detectives Chris Nolan with FPD, they identified the car on the night of September 18th as a maroon-colored Chevrolet Trailblazer. The vehicle was impounded for evidence that evening. Today, a $50,000 felony arrest warrant was issued for Akbar's capture for leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident with injuries. Police are actively searching for Akbar. If you have any information regarding his whereabouts, officials ask you contact Fairbanks Police at 450-6500.
We found the vehicle. It was parked in a parking lot in an apartment complex on 28th Avenue. And the information we received, leads and that such, we were able to secure a warrant for Mr. Rashid Akbar's arrest. It's a $50,000 warrant for failure to leaving the scene of a motor vehicle accident. I'm hoping that he will call me.
As of today, the hit-and-run victim, 7-year-old Sierra Carson, has been upgraded to good condition in Anchorage's Providence Medical Center. A Fairbanks woman who pled guilty to shooting her husband 5 times has been sentenced to 12 years in prison. Christine Mills was given a 20-year sentence with 8 years suspended. She was originally charged with attempted murder but pled guilty to felony assault. The shooting took place in 2012 during a domestic dispute between Mills and her estranged husband. The judge did not give her the maximum 15-year jail sentence despite the seriousness of the crime, partially due to her likelihood of rehabilitation.
She seems to have insight into the illness, the PTSD that she suffers from, insight into her alcoholism. The court finds her remorse today to be entirely genuine, and in fact it seemed to have sprouted up at the moment she committed this offense.
The News Center will have more on this story tomorrow during the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News and News Center Final. A no-contact order remains in effect in the case of a Fairbanks man accused of recording an 11-year-old girl in the shower. Lawyers for 22-year-old Andrew Bunton tried to lift the order for the sister of the alleged victim, who is also the defendant's girlfriend. The mother of the 2 girls was not opposed to Bunton having contact with his girlfriend, but the court chose to keep the order in effect due to the fact that she is a potential witness. Judge Bethany Harbison also added a condition of no unsupervised contact with minors under the age of 16. Trial is set to begin in mid-October. The municipal election is set for October 1st, and candidates are vying for the city's mayor's job, as well as the council, assembly, and school board. News Center 11's Monty Bowen looks at the candidates for one of the school board races.
3 people are running for school board seat D, which had been held by Christina Brophy. The 3 who filed to run are April Johnson, Allison Lambert, and Charlie Leonelli.
Well, I just retired from the military after 24 years of service, and I have 2 children that are currently at Denali Elementary School. So this is going to be the first time that I will be able to give back to the community.
For the past 3 years, while my son was in Thrive Alaska's Head Start and Early Head Start program, I've been serving on both their policy council and 2 years of that, their board. And I've really enjoyed that and kind of wanted to continue.
There's no better advocate for your children other than the parent themselves. And I'm a parent of 2 boys. One's in school, one's about to be in school, and I want to be their biggest cheerleader and their biggest advocate.
The 3 have varying qualifications for the job.
The skills that I've acquired in the military and as an attorney are easily transferred to being on the school board. In the military, you are a team player, and to be a member of the school board, you have to be a team player.
I've spent the last 2 years on an educational board and 3 years on their policy council, and I've chaired the policy council the last 2 years. I've also gone down to Juneau with the program to talk to legislature about the importance of not just education, but more, focused on early education.
I'm a business owner, small business owner, so I'm an employer here in Fairbanks, and we put a lot of money into the community, and then we have a lot of resources that we deal with, and so I have a slightly different perspective.
And if elected, what would the top priority be?
To learn the policies of the district and to review all the regulations, the administrative regulation and the laws regarding education here in the state. I think that would give me a solid basis to be able to then go into what I think our first priority will be the legislative initiatives coming up for the new session.
The same sad story is do more with less, and just kind of look at joining either a financial committee or a policy type committee where you get kind of that nice little pinpoint view on some of the bigger issues and can kind of help resolve and see what can be done.
The highest priority right now that we have is our current funding, and so we've got to apply gentle pressure to the legislators to see if we can make sure that we're receiving sustainable funding now and in the future.
We'll have more interviews with the candidates next week. The election is October 1st. Monty Bowen, News Center 11.
All right, well, it's Friday, so that's good news.
Yeah, not bad, but we got plenty more. When we come back, members of the North Star Volunteer Fire Department participated in training this morning.
Also, we have more ways on how you can stay prepared for emergencies. Those stories plus more coming up next.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. The Bishop of Fairbanks' Roman Catholic Diocese has been appointed by the Pope to lead the St. Cloud, Minnesota Diocese. Bishop Donald Kettler will start his work there in November. The move was prompted by the retirement of current St. Cloud Bishop John Kinney. Bishop Kettler was in St. Cloud and joined diocesan officials there for the announcement this morning. Ordained as Fairbanks' bishop in 2002, Kettler has led its congregation for 11 years. An administrator will be appointed to lead the diocese after his departure until Pope Francis names a new bishop for Fairbanks.
11 years ago, I was asked by Pope John Paul II to come to be the Bishop of Fairbanks. And then a couple weeks ago, the Pope's representative to the United States called me and said the Holy Father, Pope Francis, would like you to go to be Bishop of St. Cloud, Minnesota. And I'm so grateful for the support and the faith of the people up in Fairbanks. I will miss them, and they'll do well.
Former Alaska Governor Frank Murkowski says TransCanada Corporation should not be a part of the gas pipeline project in Alaska. Murkowski, the Juneau Chamber of Commerce, he says the state should concentrate on a liquefied natural gas line through south central Alaska for export to Asia, and the effort shouldn't include TransCanada. TransCanada is working on a gas line from the North Slope to Alberta and a natural gas with the major oil companies on the North Slope. Murkowski says it's in the state's best interest to negotiate TransCanada out of its contract.
Members of the North Star Volunteer Fire Department participated in training this morning. The department is made up mostly of volunteers who give their time to the station, and many are students who want to learn the ropes of fighting fire. According to the fire chief, Jeff Tucker, each day the department holds training both in the classroom and in the field. Those who fight fires here in Alaska have unique challenges they face, and the exercises provided the experience they need to tackle those obstacles.
Well, we fight fire in -60 below, which is interesting. And we are a very large area, and we don't have any hydrants or anything like that. So we have to move our water on the road in the cold weather, in the snow.
We will have more on the training tomorrow during the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News and, of course, News Center Final.
The State Personnel Board has voted to include the same-sex partners of state employees in the definition of immediate family for purposes of leave. The board changed rules that would allow state employees to take leave due to a serious health condition of a same-sex partner. To be eligible, the same-sex partners must provide proof they and their partners meet 5 criteria, including such things as a mortgage or rental agreement. Same-sex marriage is barred under Alaska's Constitution, but the Alaska Supreme Court has found it unconstitutional to offer valuable benefits to the spouses of public employees, but not to same-sex domestic partners.
This past summer was a shocking example of disasters we face here in interior Alaska. This month, emergency responders will teach the public how to prepare for these area-wide events. News Center 11's Tyson Paris-Hansen has more.
Before officials give the order to evacuate, they'll give a warning with a little time to prepare, which is why it's important to have a plan.
I'm doing my evacuation plan. If there's anything in my house that's insured and replaceable, it's not even on the radar to go with me when I evacuate.
Stick to the essentials. Here's a little trick called the 6 P's of preparedness. Consider the people around you. They may need anything from baby formula to water, maybe even games or comfort snacks. Remember your pets. They have needs like leashes or medication. Do you have any daily pills or medication? You may be away from your house for weeks. Old photos are often irreplaceable. You could put new photos on a backup hard drive. Official papers like marriage certificates or passports are hard to replace quickly. Lastly, share the plan with the people around you and make sure you have a contact outside the area. The website ready.gov has great lists of more specifics to prepare.
If they do receive an evacuation order, they know immediately where they can get these items, grab them, and go in a timely manner.
Emergency response organizations will host the Preparedness Exposition next weekend at the Carlson Center, so this is a chance to get all the information you'll need to be successful in an emergency. Tyson Paris Hansen, News Center 11.
So Joe's been really busy this week. We've been missing him here on the news desk.
Yeah, too busy to join us here right before he comes. He's right up there getting ready.
Right,
So.
but he has some questions to answer, like could the Ice Dogs keep their win streak alive? I think he has the answer.
He also has some volleyball action from last night and the play of the week. Pretty cool. So Joe is next with sports.
Hello, Interior sports fans. Joe Cook here in the Sports Feed for you this evening. Let's start your weekend right with some sports. The Ice Dogs were in action today for the third game of the NAHL Showcase. They skated with the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. We've seen the Ice Dogs come back and also dominate in their 4 wins to start the year. Now, how about a nail-biting shootout? It was scoreless for all 3 periods and overtime. Both defenses were amazing. The Ice Dogs killed 4 penalties while the Killer Bees killed 7. Kevin Aldridge had 26 saves. His counterpart, Ali Kalkaja, had 31. Came down to a shootout, and on the final attempt, Kyle Lee put it home for Fairbanks. Aldridge was playing out of his mind, stopping all shootout attempts as well for his first shutout of the season. The Ice Dogs are now 5-0. Last night, your Alaska Nanooks had their first GNAC volleyball game of the season in the Patty Center. The Yellow Jackets of Montana State Billings were looking to sting the Nooks, but Alaska, they would take the first set 25-20. Britt Glazer set the tone for the Nooks in the second set, scoring 3 of the first 4 points. She finished with 6 kills. The Yellow Jackets went on a 9-2 run and led 15-9, but the Nooks rallied and won the second set 25-20. Halftime entertainment was provided by the hockey team. It was 80s night as well. Late in the third set, the Nooks had a few service errors to prolong the match, but Kerry Knight was there for the game-winning kill. 28-26 in the final set in UAF sweeps. Knight had 7 kills and was 8 of 10 from the service line. The back row was all in with 30 digs. Tessa Butterfield had 13 of them. Sam Hartoon was on another level, hitting just under 47%, a season high and a game high 18 kills. Monica Grimswood led MSUB with 9 kills. The Nanooks are now 2-10, but have put together back-to-back sweeps.
If we look at each other and say, hey, you're going to get this up, or you're going to get this pass, or I'm going to get this pass, we trust each other and we know that we're going to do it. And honestly, that's what gets us out of these ruts.
And your best serve's not always an ace. The ace is the outcome. And so when I'm going back there, I just really like to focus on making them move and basically putting them out of system, make them scramble.
Any win I like, and we've really worked hard for it. You know, the losses that we've had haven't been for nothing. You know, it hurts and it's not fun to see in the paper and it's not fun for others to talk about, but we know our plan. And we came up against tough teams, and it's for exactly this, for our conference.
Also last night, there was some high school volleyball at West Valley. The first meeting of 2 crosstown rivals, the Malamutes and Wolfpack. West Valley attacked from all sides as the former Malamute, Ruthie Hebert, had 2 kills and 2 blocks. In the opening set, she finished with 7 denials. West Valley went on a run and led by as much as 10, and they went on to win the first set 25-13. Lathrop came back in the second set, but fell by just 3 points. Song Ebbison had 11 assists for Lathrop, and Nadine Velasco had 3 kills. The Wolfpack had 10 aces, 3 of them from Nora Trotman and Tori Howdeshell. 3 players had at least 5 kills, led by Stella Knox's 6. West Valley would sweep Lathrop 25-22 and 25-10. West Valley is now 3-1 and 2-0 in the MAC. Yesterday, North Pole and West Valley won their tennis dual meets. The Patriots went 6-1 over Hutchinson, winning almost everything. North Pole's Kevin Blanchard and Taylor Armstrong swept Ashley Ermey and Trevor Vallenario 6-0, 6-0. The highlight was Hutch's only win, a 3-6, 7-5, 10-12 win in girls doubles for Ashley Stark and Anastasia Ante. The Wolfpack followed suit with a 5-2 victory over the Rams. Jarrett Lees continues his Region 6 winning streak with a 6-4, 6-2 win over Ryan Burke in boys #1 singles. The Wolfpack got wins in boys #2 singles, both girls singles matches, and mixed doubles. The Rams got boys and girls doubles victories. Okay, now it's time for the play of the week. And this week, it's a tie. The second time we've had a tie for the top play. We have the Ice Dogs tying with Scooter Bynum. Hans Gorowski with a nice move to assist David Kaplan, who scores despite the hard hit in the Ice Dogs season opening 5-1 romp over the Kenai Brown Bears in Monroe's. Scooter Bynum just snatches the ball away from Allison defenders in mid-air as he jets to the end zone, and 54-40 loss to Allison last week. To vote for the next play of the week, make sure to watch the candidates, the I-5, the interior top 5 plays, which are on Mondays during the weekend recap. And that's a wrap for sports at 6, but stay up tonight for sports at 11 for all the high school football action. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again on a Friday edition of our weather. And if you notice, lots of dark clouds to the north and east of the city. Some of those are bringing down some snow shower activity, but they're going to remain that way and probably start pushing off to the east too. Our photograph night sent in by Bill Brophy, who was at Denali Park last weekend and was able to capture this grizzly bear there, a pretty good sized one. And as always, like I say, if you have a photograph to share with us, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com. What's going on at the airport right now? 36 degrees after a high of 37 degrees. The low last night, a very chilly 21 degrees. Our record high, 1995, 73 that day. Record low, 1947, 14 degrees. And the sunrise and sunset working out to 12 hours and 22 minutes of daylight. That's a loss of 6 minutes from yesterday. We have a travel advisory to pass along right now. The travel is not advised on the Taylor Highway after 6 o'clock this evening from Eagle to Tok. That's a 160-mile region there with heavy snow expected. All icy conditions, also icy conditions are being reported on the Parks Highway from Denali Park to Anderson, so keep that in mind if you're heading on down to the Anchorage area. Our satellite and radar, again, showing not a whole lot going on. Everything is mainly focused over southeast Alaska. Big storms moving across the southern Gulf of Alaska, and a little bit of remnants of the moisture moving across the Fairbanks area. But that's basically going to be out of the picture. In fact, you can see here on the map, lots of rain over southeast Alaska continuing. Sunshine around the Anchorage area, showers along the Aleutian chain, and some snow falling at Barrow with 33 degrees. Lower 48 weather tonight. More rain over the Pacific Northwest. Sunshine replacing the thunderstorms that were rumbling across the Minneapolis area yesterday. More thunderstorms over the deep south and the southeastern sections, and a big blob of moisture. This is a lot of rain, a lot of flooding going to come out of this system, unfortunately, and it's all being brought in from the jet stream, as you can see, way up to the north, but it's starting to dip down early next week. It will allow some cooler air to move across the northern Rockies and then move back across the Great Lakes with warmer air once again, and more rain across the deep south. So we got to keep an eye on flooding there. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. The northern sections, light snow and fog for Barrow, mostly cloudy skies for Nome, and partly cloudy skies in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll be looking at mainly cloudy at Healy and Delta Junction, with partly cloudy skies for Fairbanks. The rain is going to continue across southeast Alaska for Juneau and Ketchikan. Some of that heavy at times. Over to the southwest, looks like cloudy skies at Bethel. Rain likely for Cold Bay and Kodiak Island. And over south central regions, looks like more rain there too. Rain showers at Anchorage and Homer, and steady rain expected for the Valdez area. All right, here's our forecast for the remainder of the night. As you can see, we're looking at only 23 degrees with isolated showers mainly over the hills. Now, tomorrow looks like a better day. Partly cloudy to cloudy with 43 degrees. And the extended forecast calling for a little rain or snow back in the picture for Sunday night into Monday. And then again on Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures again cooling down with the temperatures right around, well, they should be this time of year. A little bit cooler than they should be this time of year, that's for sure. Overnight lows also dropping down over the weekend, but rebounding by next Tuesday and Wednesday.
20 degrees.
Yeah.
22 degrees.
Yeah, it's cold, that's for sure. 21 last night. definitely a good heavy frost last night.
Yeah, it was. But and then those clouds, you're right, on the way in this morning. Woo, man, those were dark.
They look pretty ominous, but for the most part, they're all staying to the north.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. That's good news.
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, a call for action over gun violence after 13 people are shot at a Chicago park, including a 3-year-old boy. Now, more on that is coming up with Brian Williams.
And a reminder to join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
You good? You good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Ready for a good weekend?
Yeah. Good. So from all of us here, we're good, and have a good night.
And we hope you're good.